Push the fucking button. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, my internet.
Shae.
Oh, I didn't
Wow.
take it down.
Wow.
I got so confused as to why my internet is being so shitty.
Well, this is not the time.
Hi,
Very,
everyone.
What the fuck?
That was very concise and professional. I mean, you hit all of the cues.
Yes. No, so I clicked go live and then my internet spooled and I was like, you're fucking kidding me. And I didn't want to hit the intro in case Cyborg took over for me and did it. And so I was like, now I have to wait for my internet to come back to see if Cyborg did it. And I was like, Cyborg did, and all I hear is Shae. I was like, I got it.
If you hit one button, I don't hit the next button because that's how fuck-ups
assumed,
occur.
but I couldn't. I can't. Like, if my internet's spooling, I don't know what you want me to do. I can't do anything about it. I can just stare in horror. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Red Valkyrie Presents. How are you today? It's going so good.
It's like our fucking first year all over again.
So professional. It's 2019 again. Welcome, everyone. It's good to see y'all.
2019, simpler time.
Yeah, my cosplays were far less advanced. And I will say, this is better than a 2019 cosplay, so fuck you, Cyborg.
I mean, that's what you say. So far, all I've seen is a blurry picture.
Oh, bullshit. You saw
all of your cosplays have, for every time I've been on, have just really impressed me. So I'm looking forward to today.
I'm excited. This one gave me a lot of grief because I was like, oh, I'm gonna do what I've done before. I'll dye a wig because surely that isn't going to go horrendously wrong. It went horrendously wrong. I dyed half my bathroom.
Oh.
I'll dye a wig
there's
with
a lot
5
of
minutes to spare.
My daughter shared a story of a cosplayer that had met up with some other cosplayers to they got in this hotel room, right? And when she got there, she wasn't ready yet, so she had to go to the bathroom to dress up as this orc or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I guess they had gray skin. That was the whole thing.
Yep.
And it was taking hours, and so finally they just went in the bathroom to see what was going on. And they see the bathtub's halfway full with 90% alcohol, and a bunch of Sharpies had been broken open, and the Sharpie ink was all over. I mean, it's everything's gray, and she's laying in the bathtub trying to dye her skin gray with Sharpies. And
that's not how you do that.
No, it's not. Well,
no!
They immediately kicked her out. I guess she got sick from the whole thing, and they made her pay the $700 damages fee that they incurred for damage in the hotel bathroom. So
my gosh.
I was like, that's a pretty funny story of cosplays gone wrong.
Yeah, I mean, when my cosplays go wrong, it's usually just like a mask falls apart or something. It was frustrating, but it was semi-permanent dye, so it was like, okay, it'll be fine. I just have to hit it with something that has bleach in it to get it off of, the tile and shit. And it all came up and it was fine. But
you skipped some steps there.
There was a lot of cussing and a lot of what the fuck, and Cyborg going, calm down, get a fucking scrubber and some good cleanser, and I was like, oh right, I do have all of that.
I love how Cyborg just comes in with that. Yeah, you missed some steps there.
Cy's a douche. That's why.
I'm just making sure you acknowledge that I talked you off the ledge.
Cy is the one that gave me back my sanity when I was like, "There's fucking blue everywhere. Why is it blue? It's not supposed to be blue." And Cy was like, "Yeah, just go get cleaner. You'll be fine." It didn't soak into the marble.
What was the gray person trying to be?
An orc.
Some kind of an orc or something.
I'm gonna guess dark elf, maybe.
I don't know. My
No, it
daughter-
depends on what brand of orc. So depending on what orc you're looking at, like if you go Tolkien orc, they were more gray. If you go Warhammer, most of them are more green. It really just depends on what your lore is.
Yeah.
Have I mentioned lately how much I absolutely love the fact that I'm with a nerd?
Right.
No,
Makes
I
life
actually
so
don't
much
think you've
easier,
mentioned
doesn't
that.
It does. I mean, you just. First of all, I knew that, but it wasn't at the forefront of my brain. So you saying that, I'm just like,
Oh yeah.
wow.
So, I can't remember what my daughter brought up earlier. We were talking. Oh, I remember. We were talking, and she brought up Agent America, a reference for Steve Rogers, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, my daughter is a bona fide nerd."
Yes.
And so I was like, "Parenting win."
Make more of them.
Yeah, and then, but I would have to say my favorite of your cosplays that you've done from the Hybrid universe was the gender bend bone.
Yes.
With-
that one was
with
so
that.
much fun.
Yeah.
With the face paint.
How hard was that to get off?
Super easy.
Okay.
I
good.
use a water-based face paint. So the time, because it was black, the thing that makes that hard is I usually edge it with waterproof eyeliner to get a real crisp edge, and then I'll fill it in with the black paint and then a little bit of eyeshadow just to really make it rich. And I've always found that whenever I go to wash my face, anything that was just water-based paint will immediately come off. Anything that was makeup is like, oh, and now I get to break out like my actual
require a little more
scrubbers.
work.
Yeah, like I've got to get the good soap and the good scrubber brush.
It's like, this is going to take some time.
There's even some stuff, depending on what I've done, where I've done like hot pink and stuff, because I use a highly pigmented eyeshadow for a lot of my cosplays.
Okay.
That will actually dye my skin because I am so fucking pale. So I've done where I've had hot pink as accents to certain things, and then scrubbed my face for like 2 hours and still had to go into work the next day with hints of hot pink while I'm in uniform, which is really fun to explain. You're like, oh no, I just have like it's just a little flare up, it'll go away. I was like, oh gosh, it's fucking makeup.
Well, I did see a cosplayer, or the makeup artist, they did a heart on their face, or one half of their face, and it was clear what shape it was, and the red had dyed their skin.
Yep.
And there was no mistaking that it was a heart.
Yeah, no,
Heart on
reds
my
and
face,
pinks
yeah.
are the evilest. Like, they are so bad. Well, speaking of cosplay, Sai, should we do this?
Let's see this thing.
I don't know if we should do this. I really
Bitch!
Metamorphosis completed, sir.
Shae the Red.
Has now become
Awesome.
Ooh, that is a great chlorine cosplay. Look at that.
Right?
Nice.
So we ditched the other wig because
Yeah.
reasons.
Yeah,
It's actually still sitting on the
I thought you
on
were
the
going to be the
stove.
necromancer.
I was thinking of it, and then I was like, I don't have the corset that'll work. And I have so many ideas on how I could do her really well, but I was like,
That would bring out the simps if you would have had the corset.
yeah, but see, I'm in a cat suit. I mean, come now.
That should do it too.
Just saying. But yeah,
I'm waiting for the sex bots to appear in our chat.
they will.
Right.
They always do.
You know, I've started getting the sex bots in my chat now. I don't know what it is, but they've decided to come out.
Hey, Shae.
She
She
froze.
froze.
Yeah, she froze. But that's a good
froze.
screen to freeze on.
You know why? She's stunning.
Yeah.
Let's get a screenshot of this. Hold on.
Yay! Gosh, I pay way
Damn
too
it!
much
I was
for
getting a
internet for this.
screenshot of you with that nice smile on your face.
That was great. You looked great in that.
You really did.
I have a bunch of screenshots as
Now,
always.
did you have to pale yourself up, or are you already that? Is that your natural skin?
This is so I do have foundation on, but it was really just because I had zits.
Okay.
This is why I don't dye my hair back to its more natural color, because naturally I'm a blonde. I'm
Okay.
not quite this blonde, but I am naturally a blonde, and because of how pale my skin is, like I'm legit just as pale. I don't tan.
Oh, it's great. I mean, it matches. It's definitely the character.
Shae, I think the color balance that you did on your camera undid itself.
It might have. Let's see if I can fix it, because the lipstick does not look as green.
Well,
As it did before.
I think it's trying to white balance against all the green.
I know. I don't like it. It's pissing me off.
Now you're peach.
Oh,
There,
it's because I had to restart. There we go.
there we go.
There we go. That one's better. But yeah, I got screenshots for you. I love chlorine, and like I remember the first time that I think it was the first time that I did chlorine was when she had like the super short hair,
Yep.
and I was like okay, all right, that's not bad. And then you redid her with this, and I when I was going through, that's why I was looking at the necromancer, because I was like, well, I've already done chlorine, and then I saw her and I was like, I haven't done this chlorine. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I could do this chlorine. Ooh, this
Yeah.
chlorine's hot.
Yeah, the
oh,
new
we're gonna
costume
do her.
is. So there's obviously a bit of time between issue 5 and issue 6, and I don't really explain how much time that is, but during that period, Trashman and Chlorine have obviously blossomed their relationship to a more serious level. And she's had enough time for her hair to grow out, and so she's naturally a blonde, and so that's where you get the green. And so she just kept the green going with the blonde, you know.
No.
Kind of
She was like, it's fine, just let it grow on.
I
it works.
disagree. I think it's entirely about her name. I think that she swims in
She
pools.
hung out in the pool
Yeah.
with her
Right,
blonde
yeah.
hair.
yeah. Well,
As a natural blonde, it never goes this color green, because that would have been bomb as all hell when I was a teen. But what it did is it goes like that gross. It goes the color that hair, the wig was dyeing. It goes that like bluish gray.
No, we had a
green.
swim team at my high school, so I've seen the light green that it does go.
It's not nice.
But we also bulked her up for issue 6.
Yeah.
Moving on, because during that time, she's been hanging out with Clarence a lot, the Trash Man, and Trash Man's got one hobby, and that is
Weightlifting.
That is working out.
Yeah.
He's always loved it. He
Where
just,
is she?
he just absolutely loves it. I don't
Yeah,
think
so,
I have
like,
too many
that's her-
pictures of her in here.
Yeah, he doesn't.
That's
feature
where
her
she
until more in the
was.
campaign.
Yeah, she had short, like a pixie cut, a little
Uh-huh.
longer
She
than
looks like a
pixie cut.
skater chick.
Yeah.
A little bit. Her brother was a skater dude,
So there we go.
and she had the quintessential '90s fighter like bomber jacket thing, with the leggings and combat boots. Of course, she's kept her combat boots because they're
I
BA,
Right.
and so, but she's a kickboxer, and we didn't feature that so much in the first arc, but you get to see her fighting prowess a lot more in this arc, especially in issue 9, the one we've got coming out right now. She's pretty badass when it comes to that.
I really like her look. I really think that it's much more like, I'm gonna share this real quick. Look at how fucking powerful she looks. Like she don't give any fucks.
She doesn't.
Like-
Here's what I wanted to do. I wanted to create a romance between two characters, but I don't want to create women that are damsels in distress.
Right.
They're not with the men they're with because they're weak and they need them. They're an honest partner, And her and Trash Man immediately had a chemistry on the battlefield. And that chemistry has translated to other places in their life. And so I wanted to make, especially with this character of Chlorine, who kind of becomes really the conduit for Trash Man coming into this new family. I wanted to make her fun and sexy, but with a wholesomeness, but also powerful in her own right. I mean, she can turn into a chlorine gas, which would kill anyone. I mean, she's extremely dangerous.
Right.
You know,
I love it.
She's extremely dangerous.
Most women are.
And yeah, and
Look, don't fuck with us. It's
yeah,
really
she's
simple.
very pivotal to the story. In fact, I would have to say that when I started out on the journey to tell the story of this hybrid universe, I wanted to tell the story in book 9, 10, 11, and 12. That was the story that I wanted to tell. It was the first story that I had really written in its concept. But I realized if I got to book 9 and I started there, no one would give two shakes about these characters. They needed to know who they were.
Right.
They needed to fall in love with them as much as I had. And so we started where we did.
I think that it's given you a lot of room to grow and mature these characters, because if you had started at book 9, like you were saying, Chlorine wouldn't look like she looks.
No.
She would look like she looked.
Yeah.
And it's not bad. That's not a bad design. But there's something about going from that kind of an aesthetic and that kind of a like really rebellious sort of look and getting into this like I don't know, it feels more genuine. It feels more
matured.
like her. Yeah, like she went from this angsty, you know, mouthy kind of teen mentality person, and then found a way to take that and be like, I can still believe what I believe, and I can focus my energy in a place that's going to be a lot more productive for what I'm trying to do.
I totally agree with Pale Rider here. We got to get some pictures. Like, you got to do more than just the screenshots there. You got to have some decent pictures. I mean, this looks great. I mean, this is...
Thank you.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
We'll talk, because this was really fun, and I actually have an idea in my head on how to do like a full,
Sweet.
you know, full, I mean, this is almost full.
Did I tell you
talk.
that I actually have that on my website?
Do you really?
Yeah, you can actually buy the pants and the
And the top,
shirt.
rash
Yeah.
guard top. Yep. That's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah, I've actually got that available on the website. So
Okay.
yeah, it's a lot of fun. But
We'll make it happen.
yeah, but I mean, absolutely, you know. So I think a lot of times people think that that a MacGuffin is a plot.
Yeah.
But it's not. So I believe characters are the plot. And knowing that I wanted to tell the story that people are getting ready to read, it was important for me to develop those characters. And Chlorine had to mature into this, because her and Caleb, her brother Bone, his name is Caleb.
Right.
So it's Samantha and Caleb are the two of them. She is has been a mother figure to her brother, because she was 18 when her parents died and she took over custody. And so she got connected with the church, and she had a relationship with Rev in the past. Like, he was her pastor, her friend. She's friends of the family with Rachel and Sarah, you know, and there's definitely a rebellious thing, and Bone went through it too.
Right.
And those two characters had to have a kind of a metamorphosis, if you will. Now, Bone is getting ready to go through an even deeper metamorphosis. His character development is going to be very, very rich. For books 10 and 11, a little spoiler, Bone's not in the scene. What happens in book 9 messes with him to the point to where he leaves. And the only person he maintains contact with is Danny. And we don't see Bone again until issue 12. And when you see him, he is decidedly different. You can tell he's been on a journey. And then after we release book 12, I'm going to release the 2 or 3 book arc that we see his emergence from the ashes, if you will, the mental ashes that he's gone through. And so character development is very important. Really, the only character that stays basically the same throughout the story is Danny and Trashman. Trashman is...
But Trashman kind of came with like a almost like father figure level of awareness. It seemed like he didn't come to this like some kid, you know. But you had like Chlorine. The thing that draws me so much to Chlorine is every teenage girl that I know had that angsty side. They had that moment where they were like, it is important for me to stand for something unabashedly. And when women choose to, it is super intense. It's a little intimidating. It's a little much, to be fair. But that's the way that women tend to, when they take a stand, they take a fucking stand. And
they really do.
And then as they get older, they find a way to take a stand that doesn't undermine what they're doing or saying, because when you take a stand but you're outraged and everything sets you off and you're very quick tempered and you're very quick to victimization, you undermine everything that you're saying. And when you get a little bit older, you learn how to stand for those values that you hold dear, but in a way where when people come at you with stuff, you're like, okay, well, you want to be ridiculous, but this is why this matters. And it comes from such a place of, I am not the crazy one here. And right. I feel like watching Chlorine go from her first, just aesthetically, from her first aesthetic to what she is now, it feels like all of that. I have the green hair because I like the green hair, but I don't have to do a butch cut and all this kind of stuff and be super like, ready to fight 24/7. I can back off a little bit and focus on what I want. What I want is to be strong and powerful and to get shit done, and that's what I'm gonna fucking do.
And to still be pretty.
Yeah, and she's gorgeous both ways. It's just really interesting to see that kind of. I can go back to a little bit more femme, and I haven't lost that power.
I made a clear decision that in book 6 we were going to start out that series with her trying on wedding dresses. Because I wanted people to see that there was a person underneath the underneath like all the green.
She's still a human being.
Yeah, and that even though and also the idea that the things we go through have a tendency to amplify relationships and emotions. And kind of play with that a little bit, but yeah, to show that, and then, and I really did start out this series kind of lighthearted. They're at a wedding shop, and then the next scene, they're, the guys are out, blowing up a facility, making fun of Trashman for his catchphrase, and all of that funny stuff, and because it gets pretty deep and gets pretty dark. So
right,
this is. Pages 8 and 9 of the book that is crowdfunding right now. So it's finished. I just wanted to show it off a little bit because it's something that we were talking about. I want to kind of point out. So in this, you've got Trashman is beating the snot out of Fuji, right?
Yeah.
In fact, he's like, "Oh, I see, you're squishy under there."
Good hell.
And so he's just squishing he's beating the rock off of him, basically.
Wow.
And then he gets suckered. And then Trash Man with another one of his fun little quips. Big mistake, Sparkle City. I actually got that from my father-in-law. He would call people Sparkle City, and I thought it was funny. And I'm like, at some point, I'm going to have one of these characters call someone Sparkle City. You know, and I thought, what better than the vampire analog, you know, because of the whole, you know.
Fucking Twilight. Twilight is forever ruined.
Yeah. So if you start getting the connections. But the next thing that happens is Chlorine comes in because her man just got suckered.
Oh, yeah.
Basically.
Oh,
he just got shot.
We don't take kindly to that.
He just got shot while, you know, in the back, basically. And so she comes in and kicks the ever-loving crap out of the dude. You know.
Yeah, women don't like it when somebody fucks with their man, especially in an unfair way. It's like, look, I know you don't need me to protect you, but
yeah, she's Mama Bear right now. You know, and I mean, look at that pose. Look how BA she is. You know,
I know. I love her. And, she looks badass.
And then she gets, you know, grabbed by this dude. You know.
Yeah.
And
man, they're a bunch of pussies. They can't just fight straight on. They gotta tag in other people. I mean, technically, it's really just being strategic.
They're being very strategic. And, but
I'm gonna call it something else because that makes it sound. But it's like, oh, you can't go toe to toe. That's why you gotta do all the cheap shots. Ah, I see.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
exactly.
I mean, we call it what it is, right? But yeah, I just wanted to share that and
that's awesome.
You know, kind of let you see. So that's part of what you're going to get from this book. This is 31 pages. Page 32 is my. You know, if anyone's been reading the books, they know that the last page of the story is usually that splash with hybrids and then the art title, and so that's page 32. There's no backup story in this. There's no extra art. It is 32 pages, and 31 of those pages is intense story. It starts. So, book 8 ended with the beginning of this fight at this place called the Stardust, which is an abandoned motel out in the middle of rural Indiana. And so it starts there. It starts right after the first kind of blow that's given on that fight. And so this whole book is one big fight sequence. But through that, we're giving plot and we're giving character development to each one of these characters through that process. Because what we're doing is we're setting up what this is going to be for the next arc. This is essentially Act 2 of 3 for the story that I've been wanting to tell. Even though it in and of itself is a 3-act story. So, but that's what we got going with this thing. It's it's intense.
You got the sexy black cover again.
I do.
Oh, I love that thing so much. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just kind of gimmicky or what, but every single fucking one of these black covers, matte black with gloss black, is just so sexy. Oh, I love them. And it's ever since I got the first one, I was like, well, fuck, there goes my money. I'm gonna have to do this every time, because if I don't get one, I'm gonna be so unbelievably sad because they look so amazing.
Yeah. I'm really excited about this one. The mock-up looks okay, but I've got the actual ones. I mean, it looks so much better.
Yeah, they always do.
Beautiful. It's and
like the mock-ups always look good, but then you get it in person, and when you're holding it, and it's like, it just, like, the detail and the places that you've selected to make sure get that shine just make everything pop so wonderful.
Yeah, well, it's definitely about composition, you know. I mean,
yeah.
I've learned a lot over the last few years about composition, not just of, like, you know, a page or covers, but story too. You know, it's all about how you present things, and
Absolutely.
but yeah, I really like the black covers. They turn out well.
They do.
Our
like you have
main
a
cover
censored
is
cover.
censored. It is censored. Indiegogo will
bloody.
not like it. But also, there's a second thing. So Nitho Diaz did the pencils for it, and I did the inks. So I normally do a cover all by myself, and I
Right.
just I didn't want I couldn't top what we had. And since I contributed with inks, my style's definitely in it.
Yeah.
I didn't realize I was an inker, but I'm a pretty decent tracer, so that works out well for me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So I might build my inker portfolio and ink people's pencils for fun. That might be an easy way to make some money.
Look at Mo throwing shade. I taught Luke that composition doesn't have to end with a comic book. It can apply to not wearing embarrassing hats. I'm looking at my collection of hats, Mo. I do not have any leg to stand on. I've got great hats over here. Pirate hat keeps falling off
I
its
think
hook.
my least. I normally wear a baseball cap, but it is what it is. Yeah, Mo's right. I have a tendency to pick jaunty hats that are
I
silly.
see nothing wrong with this.
I like jaunty hats. I'm, they may embarrass Mo, but they don't embarrass me. I'm pretty happy with them.
I bought a black and white striped top hat for an eventual female gender bend Beetlejuice cosplay. So I'm not one to talk. I was like, oh no, this is happening. This is gorgeous. I love this hat. Yeah. And then I decided what cosplay I could do around it because I liked the hat. So.
Yeah, but the other reason why I censored this cover is because it's got kind of a spoiler.
Okay. Ooh.
And so what I wanted to do is when people open up the box, the package, I'm actually thinking about getting branded tissue paper so that when they open it, like, this is this whole experience.
Nice.
Because when I want them to open that and see that cover and be like, oh, F you, Luke, I hate your
Be like,
frickin' guts.
fuck.
That's exactly the response I want to get from people.
Oh,
Because
that's
if I
awesome.
get that response, then I know I've done my job, which means the next 3 issues, I can earn people's love back.
Yeah.
But it will tell the story that I want to tell. Everything I write is allegorical. I'm telling a story underneath all the story that I'm telling. And if you're keen enough, you can see what I'm saying. And so, this next bit of story is definitely allegorical for me. But yeah, books 9, 10, 11, and 12 are the ones that I wanted to, are the books that I wanted to write from the beginning. And so I'm very excited about this. This is my favorite book so far. It's been my best as far as work, composition, writing, dialogue. Even the art's not bad in it for the most part. I mean, some of it's
Even the art's pretty good.
I mean, some of it's, pardon my French, some of it's kind of shitty. But, I did the best I could, so.
I highly doubt that.
But for the most part, it's pretty decent. It gets the job done. It definitely tells the story well. As if I do say so myself. But,
Thank you for leaving this up on the screen, Sai, for so long.
Yeah.
And
You're
Sai's
welcome.
muted. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, I'm excited for this. So I did want to go over your tiers because this is actually one I haven't backed yet for 2 reasons. One, unfortunately, Shae's got to wait for payday because I got people who haven't paid me. And 2, I want to know that I'm getting the right tier because clearly I have very specific covers that I must own or I will be very upset. And you've got some interesting bundles, so I want to make sure I don't miss anything.
Do. Yeah. Well, this was supposed to launch on my website, fundmycomic.com. Mm-hmm. And so we launched the same night we closed out Rift Riders. And after 5 backers, we realized that the site was broken because I had, after testing things, when I took off the hand. Yep. Okay. Good one. That's a good one.
Whatever makes Mo happy.
It makes me happy. So, but we had tested the site. It worked for everything was in order for the remastered trade that we did the crowdfund for. The only problem was trying to get traffic. That was the most difficult part.
Right.
But it worked. Everything worked. But I wanted to add a feature that it didn't have. It had the thing where you had to pick a tier, and you could only choose one, and then that was your checkout. If you wanted something else, you had to buy another one and have another checkout. Well, the bank charges me 30 cents per transaction.
Right.
Plus 3%. And so I would much rather allow people to a la carte
Build their own bundle.
and build your own bundle and then do a checkout. And so I said, can you just add a shopping cart feature where they can choose more than one tier? They said, yeah, that's something that we've already previously developed. And so all we have to do is install it into your coding. It'll take about 6 hours. It's $100 an hour. I thought about it and I said, okay, well, long term, if other people decide to use the platform as well, then, it's worth the investment, I guess. So I paid for it. And they tested it. They said, yeah, everything's working. I did a light test and made sure that the things were being added to the cart. I didn't check and see how it recorded it on the back end or what it did beyond that, because I didn't purchase anything that had shipping. I only picked a couple of digital tiers that I had created. When they installed that, they literally broke everything else on the site. The coupon codes no longer worked. The shopping cart didn't calculate shipping for each tier, and it didn't calculate. It didn't on the back end. It said every transaction was a direct contribution, which means a donation. So it didn't say what tier or tiers they had selected, which means I couldn't track any inventory of what was going out. So fulfillment would have been impossible. So Ray Haylock was on the show that night. He came on, and so he tried to help figure it out. And we had Todd there, Todd Oltmans, who's a web guy. We were all trying to figure this thing out in the back, and it just wasn't. It was clear that the code was busted.
Right.
So I just canceled the campaign that night. I put it on pause. And the next day I talked to the developers, and they tried to extort me for another $2,000.
You're kidding me. So they installed and broke your Shae.
They broke it, and I said, well...
I hate when people do that. And the worst part is when you understand coding, the way that people choose to do things is very much a signature. And so you can hire someone else to go in and try to unravel what they did, but if you're a programmer, you can very easily
the problem is
fail safe and shit.
The problem is everything in their coding, it's their proprietary code. They own the IP. It's copyrighted. So they are the ones that have to do all the work on it on their back end. We don't have any access to the coding itself. And they said, well, you didn't specify that you wanted everything else to work. All you said is that you wanted the shopping cart feature. So the shopping cart feature works. You didn't specify that you still wanted everything else to work as it was. And I'm like, well, I got kind of nasty.
I would have been very nasty.
Yes.
That's ridiculous.
So in the end, what we did was I went ahead and relaunched on a Thursday morning on Indiegogo, rebuilt all of the perks, but tried to keep in mind the a la carte features that I wanted to, so I can keep the perks low, but have plenty of add-ons for people to be able to choose, more things if they want. And I got, kind of got creative with it. And I also hired a developer who is in the process of building fundmycomic.com. And right now it looks like we'll have a live beta site around Christmas. So fundmycomic.com will not only exist, but it will be way more powerful than what it was before. And instead of being able to handle about 50 campaigns and 50 users that build campaigns, it will be able to handle thousands of people using the campaign.
Awesome.
Yeah,
that's what you need.
Yeah, so it's going to be a full-fledged bit. Now, it's costing me a pretty penny.
No, of course
Todd,
it is.
Todd Altmans and I are partnered on it, so we own the company. I already own the domain fundmycomic.com, but we're focusing on comics and games, and that's our focus.
Nice.
And we are getting a bit of a discount because the code developer is going to maintain ownership of the code.
Okay.
And so they can lease that out to other companies that want to build crowdfunding, kind of like Frighten Asia did to me.
Mm-hmm.
But we have an agreement that no other comic book and game company can have a site that will be a competitor using our code. So, and I have access to the code for the entirety of my life. So,
So already a much better deal than what was going on before.
Yeah, and they're going to host everything for no less than 2 years.
That's
as
good.
long as it's making money, they will continue to manage all of the more complicated things. So we're really hoping that people use the platform so we can let this development company handle all the hard work, because that's how they will get their pay. But we're only charging 2% platform fee for creators. So you're going to obviously keep paying the same bank transaction fees, but rather than a 5% platform fee, it's for 2%, because that's all we need. We're not trying to make a lot of money. We're trying to make a little money, so that we can maintain that, and recoup our investment,
Right.
which is sizable. And so we're trying to do that, but we also want to make sure that creators can keep more money in their pockets. So that's what we're working on. And so in the process, I just had to move to Indiegogo, and we lost momentum, and Indiegogo has not been helpful, and people have platform.
There's been so many problems with Indiegogo in the past 30 to 60 days too. It's been insane, and the amount of people that have lost trust in Indiegogo is intense, which is the whole reason. The whole reason you were creating what you were creating was because of this shit from Indiegogo, and then it's like, well,
I'll have
shit.
it.
I have to go back
here.
here.
But I'll have it in a few weeks, and unfortunately, normally this campaign should already be close to 100 backers. Should have a lot. Now the book's done. I mean, I just showed you. I'm just getting ready. I'm probably sending it to print. What is today? Saturday? Probably sending it to print Monday, to go ahead and get all the books printed that I need. Kind of knowing where I'm at. I know what I'm going to need. And so everything's ready. The patches will be here in about a week.
God, I love
maybe
patches.
a week and a half. So yeah, we're doing new patches. We're doing.
Oh, he's upside down.
Yeah, we're doing Rascal this time.
Yes.
So, and so, and I'm ordering the metal prints
Nice.
that I need. I'm gonna over order just a little bit, just so that I've got for anyone that might come in, strike, because I want to be able to ship this thing in just about a couple of weeks. We're not extending this campaign at all. It's the holidays. I want to get it out.
Luckily, I will have a paycheck before this closes, so I will be able to back it.
Yeah. I'm actually considering not even going in demand, and then just putting the book up on my website after this, because but normally this campaign, I mean, with 4 books, technically 9 books, because you can still get the old ones, and all the art that I've got and everything, I was would probably be around $6,000. I don't expect to have another $10,000 campaign like I did with Rift Riders, but maybe again. But for this franchise, usually I get about 120 backers, and we're not getting the exposure. We're not getting visible. We're just not visible.
Yeah.
So
it's definitely, it's been rough for a lot of people the past few months. A lot of campaigns are way lower than what they would normally be, which is just heartbreaking. And I think that on top of all of that, you having the issues that you had just tanked it. Yeah, it just made it a lot harder. So I'm glad that we were able to get you on, at least before everything is gone.
the truth is, I'll also say this. I know that running a campaign in November is not a good idea.
Yeah.
Running a campaign in November on election year is an even worse idea.
Yeah.
And so given that with all the
That's a
platform
rough
issues
time.
and losing momentum for my own launch and everything, it is what it is. But look, the book's done. You know, we've got enough money to pay for the first print run. You know, so yeah, we'll be fine. You know, everything's fine. It would be nice to make back some of the money I've invested in the book already.
I mean, absolutely.
But, yeah. But it'll be
Well,
fine. Yeah, we'll be.
Let's also
it'll
put
be
it this
good.
way, like the black covers, I'm just throwing this out there because I like have a super hard on for them. They're only available when you do these Indiegogo campaigns. Like they don't,
Yeah, I don't
there's
sell
not
them.
extras anywhere. So if y'all are like me and you really like having that really awesome matte gloss black cover combo, you have to back this in the next week. Or you're not going to get it. And then you're going to have a gap. And that just, for everyone who gets it, that makes it that much more exclusive, which is super awesome. So if you're at all interested in this, you're going to have to back to get it
There's
now.
the tiniest chance that in the future, a black cover may come up of one of the old ones. But that's not guaranteed. You know,
That is true.
if one of them floats back to me somehow through the process, then we'll be okay. But it's probably, you know, if you don't buy it now, you're probably never going to get it because
So I don't know about this triggering Bancroft with the black covers, but maybe for me that's just a plus. Like I love triggering Bancroft. Nice. So yeah, I will make sure I have all of the black covers just so I can continually trigger Bancroft. Apparently, that sounds great. After I get this one, I'm gonna lay them all out. I'm gonna take a picture and then I'll tag him and I'll tag you.
Yeah.
You sound horrible, Sai. I don't know what's up with your mic.
Like
That is
completely
terrible.
horrible.
Yeah, like you sound like you're
sound like
talking
you're
to
in a
us in a tin can.
That's awesome.
It's your favorite.
Yay. Okay, all right. Let's
Fine. Say something else.
Oh gosh. It is bad. I have never
I'm-
heard you this bad.
All I did was move where my mic is.
Well,
Literally.
you literally sound like you were talking through a can on a string. It sounds like the computer mic. It does. It sounds horrible. Sai sounds robotic, which is on brand.
Fuck y'all.
It is on brand, isn't it?
It is. I love it.
Cyborg,
It's
right?
good. Sai had a voice modulator at one point that did what was considered like a techie robot sound, and I was like, "Oh, don't ever do that again. That was horrible."
How's this?
That sounds
Much
great.
better. Much
Okay.
better. Thank you for fixing it. Okay, let's go through these tiers so I can back this on. When do I get paid? I get paid on the 30th. So I can back it on what, Wednesday? Is that a Wednesday? Tuesday? I'll back it then. Okay. Okay,
Fuck you all. Fuck you all.
All right, Luke. We got
right.
the digital tier.
Yep. Ones and zeros.
Ones and zeros.
Yep.
Nice $5. The penny pincher.
Yeah, so I decided to do something a little different on this one. Some folks were complaining about, you know, I just want the book. I don't want all that. I heard they weren't complaining to me, but I heard other people complaining about it.
This guy. This guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah.
much the only one that I've ever heard is this one.
So I
Always
I made
bitching.
a tier where it's just the book and shipping, and you get nothing else. Like
There you
all
go,
you're
Eric.
getting is the book.
Go
And
get it.
so I also wanted to give that availability to people that, you know, I know this time of year is a little thin for folks.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wanted to give them the option of still being able to get the book but get it at a value price. So
There you go. You've made Eric the Guapo very happy.
So
and as
$7 shipping on that too. So here's the deal. Some people want to complain about shipping cost. You're charging too much for shipping. If I charge $10 for shipping, it's because it's going to cost me $10 to ship that dang book. Otherwise, I charge $8 or $9. And in this case, it's one book in Gemini Mailer. That's going to cost me $7, just under $7 to print. to ship. So guess what? You get a $7 shipping, $7 book, $14. There you go. Thank you.
Yep.
I'm thinking about you guys.
Right. Just the latest.
Yep.
17 for shipping.
God.
Yeah. 17 for shipping.
Yeah.
Yeah, just the latest. Where you're gonna that is gonna include all the stretch goals, but it's just the book and all the stretch goals.
Okay.
And
this is the main cover.
That is the main cover, yeah. And we do, and I'm asking a little bit more for that, because the goal is that you're helping me reach a greater amount of money so that I can stock up more physical stock of the book than not.
Right.
So, yeah.
And then, of course, you got your Preston Acevedo cover.
Mm-hmm. I don't normally put the variants on my website, so it's just the main covers that go on my website. These, I don't print very many extras of. Probably will print a handful of extras of these, but this is going to be your main way to get that cover here.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And then this is all of the main covers, books 1 through 4, right? Of the
Killing Field,
the
yes.
parts, yeah.
Yeah, part 1 through 4, the Killing Field, or Legacy issues 6 through 9. So, some people don't understand the numbering. I want to give Legacy numbering so that you know that where you're at in my progression of timeline of telling the story. Even though the Killing Field can stand on its own,
right?
You don't have to read Trash Day, so that's why I'm doing chapter by parts. So
yeah. No, it makes sense. And we've had people who have. This is one thing I've found with a lot of indie creators is if you don't intentionally think of your numbering system, at some point down the road, it's going to get very convoluted and confusing. Because we've had people who've had 1, 2, and 3, and then they launch a new campaign and they go, oh, it's book 1. And we're like, okay, but you've done book 1. And they go, oh, no, but this is the collected edition. And I was like, then you need to call it that. You can't call it book 1 if you called book 1 book 1. The fact that you've got it where it's up in the corner, you can see what number you're on, so you know how everything has progressed for these people. But then you also have the part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. Okay, this is a collected story that you could read and be cool with, and you get from the beginning of the story to the resolution at the end, and then that is a part of a bigger story. Oh my gosh, sigh.
Got 10%.
Is a stretch goal of Shae's cosplay photo on it?
We're not talking about those collector's plates that had Dolly Parton and shit on them.
No, they're talking about a collection plate at church.
Yeah.
No. They're combining the two.
Wow, it's a collector's plate is what
exactly.
You're trying to say.
Nice.
Wow. That's a lot. Look, y'all are going to have to get Luke a lot higher than 38 damn backers for him to even consider a collector's plate, okay?
Not only that,
we will talk.
But I mean, unless a real good cut is going to Shae, it's just going to be a face shot.
Right. Speaking of face shots, heyo.
Oh, terrible.
I said face shot, not facial.
Oh.
All right, Complete Digital Library. We're
Your face when I said that. Lovely. Complete Digital.
Complete Digital. You're getting everything. I mean, you get everything that it's everything. I mean,
everything in the Hybrids universe.
Yeah, anything that I've ever made that was gone out in digital, wallpapers.
Very cool. Wow. Okay.
Collection stuff, all that. You get it all. It's everything. It's the whole folder of PDFs that I have on my Dropbox. I just pop the new PDF in there and I send you the link. You get it all.
All right.
Ignore the chat.
I am ignoring the chat.
I'm watching a little bit there.
All right, the cover bundle. So this is.
I did not disavow crack, Mo. Here's the problem. Here's what you don't understand. I was freaking asleep. I didn't know about the crack pack. So when you start talking about crack, I think you're talking about real crack. And real crack is whack. Right?
Crack is whack. That is.
Shae, do you have a picture
cool.
that you can show of your crack rock?
Only
You know the thing you mailed out?
Only in Sully's hand.
Exactly.
I think people forget that I was asleep for a while.
Yeah, I think that people do. I think people have really... They're like, why was Luke so quiet? It was like, well, there was a thing called a coma going on. Just...
So I missed Let's Go Brandon.
Oh my god, really?
Oh my
I had no idea about it,
gosh.
right? And so I find out that somebody I know got mad at someone in a Let's Go Brandon t-shirt talking about the vaccine and COVID, right? Mm-hmm. And so in a public restaurant, he decides to stick his nose over the divider and let this guy know what he thinks. He forgot that the internet and real life are not the same thing, right?
Right.
And so he winds up getting punched out by a guy in a Let's Go Brandon t-shirt. And I found this out. Someone shared the video with me. I thought it was hilarious. But I was like, what's Let's Go Brandon? They're like, you have no idea. So I ask a liberal friend, what's Let's Go Brandon? And they got mad at me. They thought I was just mocking them. I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm like, hello, coma, what happened?
Oh my gosh.
So someone had to explain it to me.
I'm sorry, but that's fucking hilarious.
It is.
It's so funny. Because in all honesty, it didn't dawn on me either. And it's like, I knew you were in I was keeping updated and like asking Piper if she had any new information and, watching and praying and all of that. And then you're back and you're healthy and you're good. And my brain just went, nope, like it's gone. And so I have forgotten about all of the things that you didn't know about.
There's still things I'm learning that I'm like, when did that happen? Like, oh,
Don't worry, Shae.
That happened in September of last year. I'm like, hello.
Yeah,
Or
exactly.
yeah, that was around November. I had just started eating in December. Like that's what we noticed that about Thanksgiving, right? Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, this is like what we were thinking back, and I was like, I didn't have a Thanksgiving meal last year. I couldn't eat yet.
Yeah.
I wasn't cleared to eat solids.
Couldn't they blend it for you though?
December.
Oh, nobody wants blended Thanksgiving.
Put some turkey breast.
They didn't
a little bit of
start
mashed
pureeing
potato.
my food until December.
That's horrible.
I'm sorry, it was the first week of December when I started getting food.
There's still leftovers.
Well, yeah, I mean it was everything was pureed. It was gross.
Yeah.
And look,
I don't know,
Stone,
shredded turkey with some little stuffing, little potato,
Not pureed.
Yeah.
No,
that's baby food.
Add a little
Stone,
gravy.
You've got to eat. Ugh.
Gravy.
Like, Mr. Stone, you've got to eat. And I said, would you eat that? They go, well, no. And I go, then why are you making me do it? Like, no, I won't eat that. But if you don't eat that stuff, you can't eat the solids. I said, look at me. Here's what you don't know about me. For the last 3 weeks, you guys have failed to come in to do my swallow test. And I said, to heck with it. I've been letting my ice chips melt so I can gulp that water. I'm gulping water. I'm drinking coffee when my daughter comes in to give me a drink. And the other day they brought me some salmon, and I ate that crap too. So just go ahead and bring me some meat. They're like, what? I said, I cheat all the time.
Like, please. I'm breaking the rules.
I said, I know what I'm capable of.
Right.
I have a
So I don't
12-pack
need
of
you to tell me what I
crunchy
can do.
tacos with
Right.
Dorito shells underneath my hospital pillow.
Oh my gosh.
I do
Fire sauce.
I do get real cranky when they miss my swallow test. 2.5 weeks they capped me, okay? And I'm supposed to have my swallow test within 3 days. 2.5 weeks because the lady quit and they hired someone new to do her job, but she went on vacation, and when she came back, she thought it was someone else's responsibility to clear me for swallows, to do swallow tests. She didn't realize it was her job now.
Wow. Oh my gosh. All right. Cover bundle. Holy shit, Luke. I
cranky.
forgot about how much this...
I was real cranky.
This sucked so bad. I'm so glad that you're better.
It did. It sucked.
Okay, so cover bundles. This is like the only way to get the black cover. Am I correct?
No.
Can you get it?
I believe I think I made it an add-on.
I don't think you... I think that I checked
didn't.
and I don't think that it was an add-on.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't make it an add-on.
Yeah.
I think it's this way, and maybe one of the bigger tiers. You can get the.
I think you're right.
You can get the black cover.
I'm leaving this up.
Stop it. We're good. We're not going through this anymore.
Oh dear God, Mo. That was a line, and you crossed it, dude.
Oh shit!
Past the lips, over the tongue,
Holy cow!
with that throat.
My gosh!
I
All I can
love...
think about is that what is that stupid movie? Ryan Reynolds was in it. National Lampoon's Van Wilder. When they're eating the freaking cream-filled donuts, right?
Oh,
And they're
no.
like, "Oh, it's still warm." And I'm like, "Oh, I can never have a pudding-filled donut again after that." To this day, I still have
I had forgotten about that. Damn it, Luke. Okay.
You have engaged the chat.
I know.
They are,
The
this
chat
is
is
good for your channel.
yeah. Good interaction. We appreciate y'all. Okay,
Yeah.
you can get
Healthy.
drawn in.
You can get drawn in. You have to wait for it though, because I'm so far ahead. Books 10 and 11 are already written and laid out. Book 12 is what I'm writing right now. And I'll be handing that off to Dawson and letting him do the layouts for me, the thumbnails for me. Hopefully in a couple of weeks, getting that done so that we can. But next month I start drawing book 10. So
Wow.
We won't release those until January, February. Start with 10, then 11, 12, a month apart from each other. But yeah, they'll be done. So you can get drawn in. Someone asked to be drawn in. But I said, well, we can do it, but I can't do it until book 12. There's this big final battle that is, it's epic. And at one point, Danny's addressing soldiers. And then we also have some other people in the villains crowd that have their face visible. And so there's where you get drawn in. And so I'm only doing 5 of them because, I could probably do more, but I don't want to draw that many
That's
people.
fair. That's fair. Sai says, if I get drawn in, go ahead, Sai.
I could do more, but I don't want to.
I don't want to do more.
That's fair. Hey, do what you do. It's
I do what I want.
your IP.
Whatever,
That's the
whatever.
joy. Sai wants to know what kind of character are they gonna be? Superhero, demon, cyberpunk, badass.
Whatever you want, man. I'll for Sai, I'll do
Aw.
whatever Sai wants.
Aw.
Okay, all right, Sai. We gotta have a discussion about your Christmas gift then.
I'm not returning my doorbell.
No, I'm talking about my gift to you.
Oh. I thought the cleanup of that cosplay after the show is
Okay, shut up. You're done.
It's getting a little racy here, isn't it?
Sai's about to get decked is what they don't seem to think
that's
is
a
gonna
long
happen.
arm. That's a 966-mile arm.
Don't test me.
She'll drive, goddammit.
I will see you in 13 hours, most fucking asshole. Anyway. Okay, so then we have the original art.
We have a couple pieces of original art by Nitho Diaz. So Nitho has done several of the covers.
I don't know what that. Continue.
Gosh, I love Mo. He's hilarious. I part of me thinks that Mo is probably like a really quiet person in real life.
Like a
always the
really
quiet one.
reserved introvert.
Introvert. And he just comes alive on YouTube. in the comments.
Anonymity.
never
He's like,
know.
ah.
Like you would
Well-
never know.
Shae, when I'm not dressed up in person, how do I seem? Aren't I pretty quiet? Or...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. You seem normal.
I'm literally pretty much what you see, what you get. I'm a little more quiet. I'm a little more extroverted on these things, or when
Same.
I'm public speaking. But for the most part, this is what you get. And
Yeah.
But anyway, Nitho Diaz, he's done several of my covers. He's actually now a Marvel artist. He's on several titles for
Very
Marvel.
cool.
So you actually get his original art. So there's a couple pieces of original art that we're offering here. That pinup that you showed earlier, issue 6 cover, and the pencils for issue 9, which if you look real close, you can get to see a little bit more of that. But I made it small and pixely so you really couldn't see, because I don't want people to get the spoiler. So
That's fair.
That's what you get. And then, I'm doing 2 statues, which I'll have images of a half-painted statue next week probably. So
Okay.
I'm only doing 2 for time's sake. And you get every cover with that, plus you get a metal print of the Chris Scalf book. So which is a pretty cool cover. Yeah, it's that one right there. The Trash Man fighting Azazel, the
Very
blue
cool.
background, beautiful painting.
Oh yeah.
And then the big tier is the Preston Acevedo original art, which is gorgeous. And I was told, I actually took Bancroft's advice on this.
Oh my
You know, he said, never let your original art go. The way you price it is, you won't be sad if it sells or if
Right.
it doesn't.
Right. If it doesn't sell, great, I get to keep it. And that's just original art, period. If it's for your campaign or if it's something that you've created, like I have a bunch of pieces that are sitting over here that I put up on auction that didn't sell, and I'm like, I'm okay with it. Like
Oh,
I
yeah.
will keep them. I am
Especially
happy
the
with
boob
them.
painting.
I do like the boob painting. The watercolor boobs came out really well.
Yeah. All right, I know the chat wants to talk about this.
Okay.
What would it take to get on a future issue to get a Shae doing chlorine cosplay cover? Do a Shae cosplay cover. What would it take?
What
do we gotta do?
You and me having a discussion.
All right, we'll have a discussion.
Okay.
The fans are asking for it.
I'm impressed. I didn't think that would happen. I mean, I have one cosplay cover currently, and there were only how many printed? 4? 4.
I
Yeah.
believe 4. Do not forget about.
Do not forget about
Fiendish.
Right. So but that's not a cosplay cover.
No, it's not.
I have one cosplay cover out there. There are only 4 copies. Cy, me, and the creator have 3 of the 4. One person, and I can guarantee you, Mike McMahon is not giving that up. He won it on auction, and he fucking loved getting it. So he is the 4th person to have it. So there's that, and there is the secret tier on Fiendish has a Fiendish cosplay print. That is all that I have right now. I have talked with a couple creators. We have a few things in the works. I would love to do a cosplay cover with you, Luke.
Let's do it.
Absolutely would love to.
Let's do it. You heard it here first. It's going to happen.
Yes!
You know what?
Yep.
You know what? Work out some barter so that's the issue that has me drawn into it, because then you'll be on the cover and I'll.
All right. Okay.
Nice. We'll talk.
Yeah, we'll talk.
We'll talk off.
I can see a great second chance campaign happening. With
Yes, this
with a
absolutely.
with a Shae cosplay cover. Let's do it.
I
Go,
am
chat. You can
so
get what you want.
this is gonna be excited. Yeah. So, we'll just say this, chat. If y'all ever want something like that, just float that idea out to the creators, because I am down. In fact, I have approached more than one creator about possibly doing real cosplays for them, and most of them have been like, and like that's it. So I'm not gonna sink a couple $100s into making cosplays that are legit for
Yeah. No.
But if it's going to be mutually beneficial
Yep.
and whatever, that I am down for. And for people that I absolutely adore, I would be more than happy. So this is going to be awesome. I'm excited. Okay, so for this campaign, we have 7 days left. You have 1 week.
It's not 1 week.
1 week, people,
We've
to
gotten a
get
couple more
in on
backers.
this. Yay!
Yeah.
I
From what I looked at the other day, I only had 35 the other day.
Nice. And this is going to go up by at least one more, if not two, because I have yet to back, because I had to make sure that that's the only way I could get that black cover.
Yeah, I mean, we're obviously funded. The first stretch goal is met. Everybody's getting a patch.
Yes!
The second stretch goal, we're still a bit away from. Chris Scalf has done more art for trading cards, and so I'm doing a new set of premium trading cards for some of the characters with updated stats and details about the characters on the back. So yeah, we're those are some of the stretch goals that we're doing.
Awesome. This is, this is the hybrids universe. Like, it's I thought it was funny.
Cyborg. I don't know if I'd do that.
Aw,
No.
I like Cy too much to kill him off.
that's fair.
Unless I come back more cyborgy.
Right, yeah. So,
My RoboCop arc.
I'm not trying to that would be awesome.
That would be really cool.
I think you're getting in the book now. And they'll be like, "Oh, Luke's got a trans cyborg in his book. There's no way he's comic skate."
Right? Don't worry. Our entire channel could not possibly exist because
Right.
there's none of either of us even remotely close to CG. So
I've met so many people in CG that I don't think they realize that they're supposed to hate themselves. Apparently,
yeah,
I'm like, oh,
I was unaware.
is this some
I also-
self-loathing? I don't understand.
Oh, I'm pretty happy with me.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Shae, I know you've experienced this. A few years ago, I had someone telling me that I have internalized transphobia, and Shae gets the internalized misogyny.
I have internalized misogyny.
I met. So I've known Aaron Jordan for a while. But every time I saw him on screen, he was behind an avatar. And so finally I was on one show and he was not on the avatar. And I was like, Aaron, do you know you're black? I mean...
Are you aware that you are black, sir?
Yeah. Do you know what's... you're in CG. You're
Do I
not
have that
supposed
video
to.
on here?
Oh my
Continue
gosh,
talking.
Sigh. Sigh is terrible.
But you're black. He's black.
That's a
Yep.
fun clip. I love that. But yeah, that's so at me, everyone's like, you bigots and sexist, and I'm like, I know women, I know trans people. Most of the people that I work with are either women or people of color. So
Yeah.
I don't even get it. I'm like, of course I don't use a hashtag. I'm very grateful to the Comicsgate community for surrounding my family and myself during my illness. They've been great. They've supported the book. They helped my dreams come true. But I'm not really particularly a hashtag kind of guy. I just don't see
Same. Yeah.
I just see the need to use that. I'm not going out there saying, hey, I'm a white Christian creator. I don't say that, right? So, I don't feel like the need to qualify my work outside of just being, it's just badass.
Agreed.
I'm not here to, I try to, be humble. But, at some point, you got to just say it like it is. I've gotten a lot of really good feedback about the hybrid universe. And people really like it. And I think more people should read it. That's what I think. I think if they'd stop complaining about, there's no good superhero team books. If they read it, they'd be like, well, it happened the same thing that Adam Lawson told me they would tell me. Adam, after reading the first iteration of the trade, Trash Day trade, he didn't even read the new extended version, the remastered. He told me, he goes, Luke, I just read the book. He goes, that is the X-Men I wanted to read. And I'm like, well, thank you, because it was the X-Men I wanted to read too.
Right.
So I just wrote it. I made it happen, and I think people would. I think they would really enjoy if they give it a chance. I think they'll fall in love with the characters as much as I have, or you have, obviously, and some of these other people. It's a world to talk about. And,
Absolutely.
I'm available to everybody. So when you get pissed off about my choices, you can come right at me and tell me. And,
yeah.
Fun note about that. I knew where I was going in the story, obviously. And so when I ended book 5, people were like, I just felt like that payoff for the big antagonist reveal was kind of weak. They kind of just sucker punched him and left. And I was like, yeah, they kind of had to, man. And so they're like, I got a lot of... I'm like, well, that's not going to be the case in book 9. It's going to be a different story. They're like, oh, well, I hope so. And all of the complaining, it just made it worse for our team, okay? I was only going to kill one person. But all of the complaining, I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm effing them all up.
Oh my gosh.
So when you read the book and you're like, damn it, Luke, what did you do? It's your fault. I was going to take it easy on him. I was okay. I was going to be like Negan. I was only going to take one. But you know what? I have a point to make. So I had to take out 2 or 3 or 4.
Shit.
I had to lay some hurt on him. So by the time you guys read this book, you're going to be like, dang, Azazel is... His whole team, they're just effed up, man. They're mean. These are not good people.
It's Azazel.
It's Azazel.
I wouldn't expect him to be a nice guy.
Yeah.
He's not a nice person.
He's not.
No.
Rascal proves just how evil he really is.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Rascal's one of my favorite villains. Now, here's the cool thing about Rascal. So, Rascal is going to have, 4 different iterations of Rascal. Mm-hmm. You've only seen one. So, in book 10, you see another. In book 11, you see another. And then there's, one other one that I'm working on.
Okay.
That I haven't decided when and how I'm going to release it, but yeah, there's going to be 4 different versions of Rascal out there in the storyline. It's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to get to it so everyone can see it, and then they can argue over who their favorite Rascal was,
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. This, as always, has been a fucking blast. I love having you on, Luke. I really do, because not only is the chat insane, which they are most of the time, but we love when they come and throw that crazy insanity our way. You are one of the most passionate, serious creators that is really looking at this as this is a business. This is an investment in good storytelling for the long haul, and that is something that I think has been severely lacking, and it makes it so much more exciting when we get to talk with you, because we get to really look at this is what things can become if people really want to put in the effort and have a strong mind about it and create good stories that are worth reading.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
So this stream passes the swallow test. Damn it, Sigh.
Callback. Every good streamer has callback.
That is true. That is true. Everyone who's watching, please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to Red Valkyrie. Ring that bell so you know when we go live. Go back, hybrids. Link is pinned at the top of the chat. Please go back, hybrids. Luke definitely deserves a lot more support than what he was able to get with this. It's been a rough time of year. It's been a rough time on Indiegogo. It's been a rough time trying to get a website up. There's just been a lot of shit going on, and so much. It's been insane, and it's only been like a month, but it's been fucking nuts.
Yes.
Definitely back an amazing creator who is here for the long haul, who definitely wants to create something special for his readers, and that's something that is hard to find. So thank you so much, Luke, for coming and hanging out with us.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
What a great cosplay. And we are gonna make the cover happen. It's gonna be
Now,
yes.
Shae,
Ah! So excited.
before you try to do this, should I hit the button?
Probably, because I don't think that everything else is going to work for me, and I don't trust my internet. So play the trailer and then the outro?
She doesn't trust herself.
Absolutely. All right. Here goes the trailer.
We know our enemy. We've seen behind the curtain. And they have a weakness. An Achilles heel. They are arrogant and completely underestimate what they are up against. They forget who the game master is. They forget how wise this old demon can be. So, let's see who among them survives this killing field.